Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining us once again here on the Friday Night Panel featuring yours truly and Mike Gore. Actually, you know what? I want to start this off by saying I just noticed this. There's a big, I think it's lightweight fight coming up with Lomachenko and Richard Comey. And I
Yeah.
believe that's a fight coming up in Madison Square Gardens on December 11th. But they've just added a co-main event to that featuring, guess who? Jared Big Baby Anderson.
Yeah.
So we get to see him fight one more time this year. And I'm excited about that. Ever since you pointed him out on Knuckle Up, I've been a big fan. And we saw him last on the big Fury Wilder card. And he's having a great year. And although one of his friends recently passed away and he's feeling a little down the dumps, he says he's well motivated for this next. So I feel sorry for his opposition.
Oh, me too. Me too, man. Me too. Jared Big Baby Anderson. Yeah, man. Love this kid. I've been watching him now. We started off really early in this guy's career. And, this year he's just, a force to be reckoned with in that ring. And you know what? He definitely is chefing up some knockouts, man. And it's great to see. And, honestly, I feel bad. I feel bad for the guy who he's getting in the ring with, which is Alexander Teslenko.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teslenko. And you know what? Honestly, on that card right now for the Saturday, December 11th, the only thing that I'm seeing right now is the Lomachenko versus Kami and the Anderson versus
And
Teslenko.
and also Keyshawn Davis.
Oh, Keyshawn, yes, another bright prospect that we've talked numerous about. Keyshawn Davis, another big name there. Coming fresh off that Olympic victory there.
Yeah.
So definitely some big fights happening on the 11th. I can't wait. I'm super excited. But the big talks of the fights this weekend, honestly, the Haney card tomorrow. Unbeaten superstar Devin Haney, 26-0, 15 knockouts, puts his crown on the line for the fourth time and the second in a row in Las Vegas. Having seen off the challenge of former three-weight world ruler George El Nino del Oro, Liniers, in a thrilling clash in May at Mandalay Bay. The dream now returns to the Vegas Strip for what promises to be um, an amazing fight. And his rivalry with Diaz Jr., it hits its boiling point. And Diaz, who's 32-1-1 with 15 KOs, claimed the WBC Interim World Light title on his debut at 135 pounds, beating former world champion Javier Fortuna in one of the best performances of his 34-fight career.
Nice.
So, you know what? This is gearing up to be a really big match. I can't wait to see this one, man. This is definitely going to be a great match, man. A great match. Definitely a good one to watch. Also, we have Arthur and Yard 2.
Yep.
That's another big one. Definitely can't wait to see this one, man. Frank Warren, today hosted a press conference to announce the British Boxing's big light heavyweight rematch between Lyndon Arthur and Anthony Yard. King Arthur will make his third defense of his Commonwealth Championship against, um, Yard. This awesome puncher. Yard, who's 21-2 with 21-2 with 20 knockouts at Cooper Box Arena in London. Saturday, guys. Remember this one. This one is an early one. It's going to be 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know that this card is stacked with some great matches on here, man. There's a lot of new and up and comers on this card. There's also Dennis McCann is up on this card, which I'm excited to see him get
Dennis the
involved.
Menace.
Dennis the Menace McCann, 124. He weighed in 124 and 3 ounces. He's taking on Juan Yurdo. And also on this card, man, big name that we've talked about before, and I've profiled him on Knuckle Up many times. Sam Noakes against Sean Cooper is also on this card.
You and Ray from Last Bell talked about him a lot.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Definitely a great guy to watch out. Also, another name that I have mentioned and you've heard me mention many times to all the fans out there watching is Hamza Shiraz is also on this card taking on Bradley Skeet. So we've got some big matches on this card. Definitely, you're going to want to watch it. It's definitely one that I'm not going to miss. I'm already got my alarm clock set and ready to go to make sure that I remember what time that this one starts. And I'm not going to be missing this one. It's supposed to be a big one. Also, though, we have a card in Canada, in Brampton. This card is also on the 4th. And it's an all Canadian event at the CAA Center in Brampton. And guys, there's a lot of young, hungry Canadian prospects on this card. It's something that we stand proud of because we are Canadian. This is a card that I've been trying to get press passes for to get in, but without any correspondence back. I guess they're really really busy. I guess I'm gonna have to try my luck at the door when we get there. And hey, if you don't give us no press passes, man, we ain't gonna give you no nice things. We're not saying anything nice about it.
By the way, this is the company that just signed out of Jamaica, a fellow by the name of Ricardo Brown. So they're moving in international waters. They're not just signing Canadian fighters, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, really?
These guys have actually been around for a while. And although boxing was stopped in Ontario and in Canada here for over a decade under the rulership of idiot boy Hayashi. But anyway, boxing is coming back with a vengeance, both on the amateur level under Jennifer Huggins and on the professional level under Tyler Buxton and his boys. So good for them, and good for you for bringing it up. I'd forgotten about that match, but
I didn't forget, man. I'm Canadian. Got to stick with my Canadian guys. Okay. Also, big things on the Devin Haney card, which I do want to point out. There's a bunch of guys that I have profiled over the last year that are on this card, guys. I want you to make sure that you do not miss this one. Montana Love, 16-0-1, takes on Carlos Diaz. We also have Jessica McCaskill will
nice.
be in the fight against Kendi Watt. And
Oh,
that's
wait, that's Canadian.
yeah. And this one here is for the WBC World Female Welter title, the WBA World Female Welter title, the IBF World Female Welter title, the WBO World Female Welter title, and the IBO World Female Welter title. So
Wow.
this is a big one. This is a big one, big match. Can't wait to see it. Also on the card, man, super excited to see Philip Hergrovic, the big heavyweight, 13-0. I talked about this guy
Yep.
a month ago. He's
Yep.
13-0, sitting with 11 knockouts, man. This Croatian Orthodox fighter standing at 6'6". His nickname, El Animal. Yes, and he's coming off of a third round win back in October against Marco Rendonjic, who was 22-0. And you know what? Rendonjic was down 4 times in the second and once in the third to end that. And that was for the IBF International Heavy title. So, you know what? This is big, man.
Who's he going against? Who's he going?
He's going to be fighting Emir. I think it's Hamtovic.
All right. There was a reason you didn't mention it. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Hey man, I tried. It's hard. They're
Yeah.
all really hard names, man. But yeah, this guy that he's facing is unbeaten. He is 10-0. So it's going to be, it's a battle of the undefeated. The guy that he's fighting is from Germany. His nickname is Atomic. And he's 10-0 with 7 knockouts, man. And this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good match. These guys both bang well, and it's super exciting. Also, I'm super excited on this card, man. Our man Amari Jones
Nice.
is going to be fighting Timothy Lee, who's sitting at 5-1-0. Amari Jones is 4-0 right now, and looking to improve to 5-0 and keeping that undefeated record. Also, Mark Castro is on this card as well. Another great undefeated who's sitting at 4-0 right now in the super feather division, and he will be taking on Ronaldo Solis. So, guys, lots and lots and lots of big fights on that card. I'm super stoked
Good.
to watch it, man. Honestly, what about you, Graham? Are you excited for any of these matches this weekend?
It's really interesting to see how we, as a channel, have come along, and we've profiled so many fighters. We haven't just focused on, shall we say, the history or those historical names, but we've actually brought to light some really great names. Some of these fighters now are not only rising to the top of their divisions, but are actually becoming quite prominent on cards.
Yeah.
So they're drawing the public's attention, and guys like you have been out there, scratching the surface, digging deep, and look what you found. You found some guys who are really worthy of to mention, and I gotta say, like this is what's making it exciting for typical, normal, enthusiastic fans like you and me to see these guys a year later in a post-COVID world now battling for titles and going on to these cards as they should be as champions.
Yes.
Uh, this is what's exciting me that what we're talking about is making sense. Because remember, we had not just the rising stars, but also the women. We really decided to focus on the women, and it's really good to see these women. Wow, I mean, ever since that Ebony Bridges battle, I mean,
Oh,
ever since that one, I think that was a turning point. And yes, we've had great female fighters, the Katie Taylors of the world, the Amanda Serranos of the world, let alone Clarissa Shields of the world. Fine, well and good. But now
yeah,
we have all these other women who are now that you've mentioned on Female Fridays now bubbling up and
yeah,
fighting for titles, and it's great to see, including a lot of Canadian women, quite frankly.
yeah.
Head and shoulders, quite frankly, above the men, if you ask me. Well, no, we've got quite a few now good, well placed Canadian men fighting for titles.
We do.
Cody Crowley comes to mind. But at the end of the day, you've done a fantastic job, and I'm really excited to see these names pop up when we talk about them quite regularly on the panel.
Yeah,
I was really hoping that Tim Witherspoon would be with us tonight because I wanted to see if he was going to go down to Madison Square Gardens to see Big Baby. I know we turned him on to Big Baby,
yeah.
and I really think that Tim could give him a point. Hey, speaking of that, you had a conversation with who the heck were you talking to?
Matty
Who?
Harris.
Yeah, Matty Harris. Right,
Matty
right.
Harris, yes, Matty Harris. We talked to him, guys. If you haven't seen it, check it out, man. Great interview with Matty Harris last week, or sorry, Monday. He was unable to make it Friday. Monday, he came, stopped by the studio. We had a nice conversation with him. Talked about his career and how it's going and everything that's working on. And we found out that one of his short-term goals is to head up stateside.
Yep.
And Tim Witherspoon said that he was going to try to sit in on that interview. He was unable to make it due to scheduling conflicts. And you know what? Yeah, he wants to be put in touch with Tim Witherspoon, and I know Tim Witherspoon. I've put him onto Matty Harris as well, and I've sent him his first video, and I think they can really help each other.
Yep.
So I think Tim is looking to give his extensive book of knowledge
It just occurred to me.
defense.
Maybe that's why Tim's not with us tonight. We've got him so busy, hooked up with all these guys who want to be trained by the great Tim Witherspoon.
Right?
Maybe.
Like you want to learn defense by the great Witherspoon is what it is.
Yeah.
Remember, it's
Yeah.
defense, defense, defense. Don't want to get hit. Matty Harris, man, he already has great defense already. You can see it in his first fight. He avoids being hit, and pro debut, he looked great, man, and he moves for a big guy. We're talking about a 6'8" guy who 250, 270 pounds, and he's real young still. He's in his early 20s, and you know what? He looks good.
Yeah.
And you know what? Somebody like Tim Witherspoon, highly decorated champion, Mr. Sparring partner to Muhammad Ali, of course, could give this kid some great tutelage and really drive this kid into the next echelon of being a pro boxer, and that's superstardom. And somebody like Tim could definitely do that with this kid. And honestly, I'm glad to put them both in touch and help them both out, man.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, for those young boxers out there watching right now, we've put up some great tips from Cedric Ben.
Definitely.
When we were down in Windsor, we had him give us a few tips and tricks, punching on the heavy bag and all sorts of different. He gave us a bunch of short clips that you can easily go. So if you want some free advice, go along to the talkinfight.com website and have a look there because
Definitely.
you can either hire someone like Tim or hire Cedric Ben, but go to our website for some free advice.
Yes, go to the website for free advice, man. Trust me, the videos are great. Was taken while we were out on our road trip out to Windsor when we filmed our Knuckle Up Knockout of the Week show, which great numbers we got for that
Yeah.
wonderful event. We'll have to do that again soon. Make another trip out that way and touch base with our friend and co-host Cedric Ben. You know what? Yeah, guys.
We'll have to take the helicopter next time. That was a long drive.
Yeah, it was. It was a long drive. Good 5 hours, but it was fun. I had a blast on the way back though.
Yes.
Yeah, it was great. But yes, honestly, big fights. There are some fights tonight. I
Yep.
don't know if anybody else will be able to get them unless you're able to stream them somewhere. If you can, there's a cards going on in Germany tonight that you should be able to find at some point on your streaming platforms. Also, there are some events always on the zone. We got Spain. There's a big event in Spain on the zone tonight. Also, we have some events in the UK. There's always stuff going on in the UK, though. We always know that. Pretty our friends over in the UK say the mecca of boxing. Maybe the mecca of boxing because they're always boxing. They always have stuff going on. There's always huge cards going on. But yeah, there's not as many big cards tonight as there was last weekend, but there are still a few cards. If you can search them, guys, and find them, I know that there's Isaac Lowe will be fighting or did fight and lost against Luis Alberto Lopez earlier today,
Huh.
which was an unfortunate event. But Charlie Edwards was victorious in his victory against Jacob Barreto. So there are some cards. They have been going on all day, guys. If you have a chance to go and check them out, find your streaming platforms. I'm not going to reveal mine, but yes, definitely check it out, man. You guys, there are fights tonight. There's always fights, guys. Also, the Triller fight went on last night, did it not?
That's the Michael Hunter Jerry Forrest.
Yes, yes.
Did
The
you watch
Michael.
it?
No, I didn't get a chance.
Um,
I tried to watch it, but the alarm didn't wake me up.
who won?
But Michael Hunter struggles to a draw.
Oh, really?
Heavyweight contender with Cassius Chaney suffers first loss in New York.
Wow.
Yeah, so guys, that card was yesterday, I believe it was. Yeah, yesterday Triller event. It is what it is. Hopefully the event wasn't one of these Triller circuses that have been going on. I know they're trying to get away from that. They did start off with that new triangle boxing thing that went on. It did deliver us one of the greatest finish him knockouts that I've ever seen.
Yeah, but they're being sued.
Are they being sued? Really?
They're being sued by the bare knuckle people because the bare knuckle people said that they've invented the triad ring.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yep.
So, well, I guess that will be the end of that.
We'll see who has the deeper pockets.
You're right. Yeah, they have filed a lawsuit against Triller alleging copyright infringement pertaining to the ring design. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what goes on here. It's unfortunate that Triller can't seem to find their place. Is what it seems like. It seems like Triller just can't seem to find their niche and their spot in professional boxing. They started off with these sideshow circus bull crap matches. First, it started off with pillow boxing. Then ended up with more old guys fighting each other, and then it turned into a hip hop concert with intermissions of fighting. I think in one of those events there might have been one actual highly decorated boxer on there. After that, it's been a circus ever since. They wanted to they were going to have a legitimate boxing match and ended up dropping it, which was the Tio and Cambosis. But that never happened, and
Right.
that got picked up by Matchroom because Triller ended up dropping it, and I have no idea why they did that. It's unfortunate that they didn't stick to traditional boxing, and they ended up going the way they went. And now look, now they're being sued by bare knuckle boxing because they invented it first. So it's only time will tell what's going to happen with Triller. This is definitely a huge blow to them after the huge financial blow that they took dropping that Teofimo Lopez and Cambosis Jr. fight because they had already dealt lots of money for that, man. They
Yeah.
spent 3 months in promotions. Then the purse to battle for the purse. They spent $10 million over 3 months, and that money went where? Nowhere. And now any money that they made off this triangle ring new thing, yeah. Now look, all that money you're getting sued for. So it's unfortunate that it's happened. Triller's got to find their way. It's only a matter of time before we actually see what they're going to try and do to try and recoup, or it's going to be the end of Triller, man. And honestly and truthfully, there's so many smaller promotion companies today that are starting to, make their names known. We got the Salida Promotions, we got Split Team Management, we got, Toscano Boxing Promotions. All these young cats and all these smaller boxing clubs, smaller boxing promotions are starting to, gain some movement in this business, and it's great. And if a big conglomerate like Triller ends up falling out, I'm sure there is somebody sitting in the in the green room waiting to just make their grand entrance and pick up right where Triller left off, and that's trying to start a great boxing promotion company. So that
Here, here,
means
here are my two thoughts on that one. One, I think Triller has a huge box of money that they're sitting on, and I'm pretty sure they can just pay out the boys. I think they're out of Florida, the bare knuckle boys. They'll take a few million quid, to give up the triad and create something else. And the other thing too is you've got a company like Pro Bellum, which was formed by the former guys out of Golden Boy.
yeah,
So they've been uniting a lot of these smaller management or independent management companies and smaller promoters or independent promoters all around the world, going into the nooks and crannies, if you will, where there's huge boxing audiences and a lot of great stables of unknown fighters. And Pro Bellum is doing a great job of, if you will, corralling and putting under one umbrella. And so you will see these all bubbling to the surface in 2022, and will create a very competitive environment. It will be very interesting to see what will happen to, like, how important now will these belts become? Because, like, look at some of the fights that we're watching. There's no belts involved, and yet we're really excited to see these fights go on, take place, because they're two great fighters going toe to toe, and that's what we want to see,
yeah,
whether it's for a belt or not. But so it'd be interesting to see whether the various organizing bodies, and believe me, there's other organizing bodies now out there as well, UBO being one of them.
right,
So that makes five that I can think of off the top of my head, and I'm sure there's another one I'm missing. But they've really watered down the value of the belt, not by having so many different weight divisions, but by having so many intercontinental type belts. And at the end of the day, who cares? We just want to see great fighters go toe to toe and put up not just great entertainment but great skills against each other. So that's what I think we're going to see, and I think that's the golden mindset of companies like Pro Bellum, who are
right.
going out there securing contracts to create strategic alliances to put these fighters toe to toe against great fighters. Forget the belts.
Yeah,
Let's just see great fights.
yeah, that's it, man. Great fights fill seats, man. It's not always the belt that's gonna, put the people in the stand. It's the fighter, and as
Well,
long as
that's right, and especially because what's been happening now, you will see a fighter obtain a belt,
yep,
no matter from who,
yep,
and sit on that belt
yep,
because his manager and/or promoter says, well, he's the belt holder and he can remain at that level, continue to fight tomato cans, but that's no good for the fans. The
no,
fans know it.
yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. I think they're watered down, and they've now watered down to the point where, yes, we like to see the great fighters. We know the great fighters are out there, but I pointed this out a few weeks ago. The top five heavyweights, are they truly the top five heavyweights that the fans enjoy seeing? They may be the top five, according to Eddie Hearn, but when you start digging deep, as you have done, Mike, on
yes.
Knuckle Up, there are tons of great other heavyweights out there waiting to claim those same titles.
Yes, and especially in a division that's was so lackluster for so time.
Yeah.
Not too many huge fights went on. We had the tie up of the belts for so long with the Fury and Wilder, and then the Usyk and Joshua and all this kind of stuff. But now it's like almost there's an influx of all these new heavyweights, and now that this division that was so boring at one point now just has an abundance of new fighters, a bunch of new guys that have now clogged up this way again. So now we're gonna have to start seeing a lot of these heavyweight matches on these cards. There's a lot of heavyweights that are out there that want to fight each other, and honestly, it's about time. It's about time we start getting to see this division that's been the star division of boxing for as long as I can remember. Because growing up as a kid, what you want to do You want to sit up. You want to watch that pay-per-view right to the end to watch that super heavyweight battle versus this awesome champion and this awesome champion. And now we're at that point now where this clogged up division is starting to make movements, and we're going to start seeing an influx of all these new heavyweights that have just been lying in the woodworks, waiting for their time, biding their time, are now going to start coming into this division, and we're going to start seeing these guys run amok, man. And
Yep.
there are a lot of highly decorated heavyweights out there. For
And
instance,
and in another division, take a look at how George Kambosos has now shook up the boxing world. Quite frankly,
yes,
no one was picking him to. Well, okay, I picked him to win, but you might have picked him to win, but I'm just saying,
honestly,
the box,
he was heavily not favored. Let's put it that way.
right,
You're
right,
right. Like a $20 bet, a $20 bet would have got you $2,000 return for him to take it in whatever round, and that was betting odds, man. He was plus 20,000 at one point
wow,
in some of those odds. So you know what? That was a great fight. That was a great fight. Honestly, I believe there was just too much hype leading up to that fight, and that mentally plays on boxers. And I just think there was just too much time and too much going on between the match for that to actually not affect their mental game, man. Because you could tell Tiafoe was frustrated. He came out saying, I'm going to end this in the first round. He came out in that first round, and Kambosos, what did he do? He just kept moving, and that keeping moving just didn't allow Tiafoe to set up anything that was able to just come through and kill it. And Kambosos just, he had that combination that had no answer. That jab, that stiff powered jab, followed by that overhand right, and it kept catching Tiafoe right over that left eye. And what happened? Well, he got dropped in the first round with it, and then battled through the entire match, taking that same shot over and over again that eventually split the eyebrow wide open,
yep,
which almost, which they had to call the doctors to the side of the ring and check it out. It could have ended there. But for me, it showed that Tiafoe, I think, was a little distracted mentally. He wasn't there. Also, you know what? He was a bit of a sore loser at the end of it. The man beat you fair and square. You know what? Humble yourself, bud. You know what I mean? You're not the chosen one. You're not the movement. You're not whatever the hell your name is, man. Honestly, you're a boxer that came up, won those belts on a technicality. I think it is. I don't know. People believe he didn't even win the belts to begin with when he fought the first time, right? So is he the real deal? We'll see. We know Neil's the real deal.
that's right. That's right. No, but I just like the way that the boxing world can get shaken up,
Yes,
and George Kambosos proved it to all of us. This is how it's done. He put he let his fists do the talking,
that's right.
and he didn't leave it he did leave it in the hands of the judges, but at the end of the day, it was a great fight, and that's what I think we're going to see more of in 2022. More great fights, and a lot of these big mouth brash talkers are going to get knocked off their thrones.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? We've seen it this year. It's happened quite a bit already.
Yep.
This year it's happened already quite a bit. Like we got Alexander Usyk, who
True.
just stripped Joshua his belts.
Yep.
And I've heard talks that that Tyson Fury wants Usyk next. So I guess, hey, we'll have to see what happens, man. There's a lot in that division that's now going to go on. There's a lot of mandatories that got to happen. There's a lot of these fights are going to start happening, man, and I'm excited to see them all.
Yep. I'm looking forward to 2022 as well. It's going to be a
Yeah,
good.
it's gonna be a great year. It's gonna be a great year for boxing. We'll be hopefully, fully rid of this COVID crap and really have it put in the past and like behind us, so that we can all start moving forward and have the boxing, category nation move themselves and start just fighting, man. Just start fighting, guys. Get these fights underway. Get these fans in the stands and in the seats, man, and just start boxing. Like let's get it going, man. No more of this. No more of this crap. We're not hand puppets, man. We ain't talking. We don't need talk. We need action. And you know what? When you get fighters that don't do this and use this, we see belts change hands, and it's wonderful because you know what, it's happened quite a few times this year, and I think next year is going to be a hell of a lot more.
Yeah. And as a lot of our friends who own gyms have pointed out to us, there are an awful lot more people going into the boxing gyms to learn the skills of boxing, pure and simple, and are even taking up the challenge of entering the ring competitively.
Right.
And you know, whether it's Tyson Fury, whether it's Jake Paul, I think the popularity of boxing is coming back among a younger generation. They're liking to see these fights, and they're liking to see that sweet science. These aren't the grappling, sweaty men rolling around on the floor kind of fights. And it's good stuff. And I think there's a lot of great fighters. We've pointed out a lot of them, and I think this is what's truly exciting me. I think we've hit our mark, and what's happening as we lead up to the end of 2021. All these great fighters. These are well-known names to us. They should be well-known names to our fans listening to us. And 2022 is only going to be better.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Also in the headlines, Fraser Clark
Oh
has
yeah, got
has
signed.
signed. Yeah, he
Yeah.
got signed with Boxer, Sky Sports in-house promoter, and
Yep.
it's promising a destructive route to the top of the heavyweight division. Clark, now 30, who won a super heavyweight bronze medal at the Olympics in Tokyo in August, is the first of Great Britain's 6 boxing medalists to sign a professional deal.
Nice.
He looks likely to make his professional debut on the Amir Khan Kelbrook undercard in Manchester, February 19th, and has agreed to a 3-year deal. So, wow, there's another big heavyweight that guys we're gonna have to be on the lookout for. If you don't know who he is, wait till next week. I'll be profiling him. You'll be checking him out. I'll let you know all about him and where he's come from and what he's got to. We'll definitely be profiling him. That's big news. That's going on there. Congratulations to him, man. Fraser Clark signing with Boxer, multi deal. It's great. Definitely
Yeah,
great.
and that's another of those young aggressive companies that's really making moves. Boxer. I mean,
Yes.
obviously they're well funded and well positioned with their alliance with Sky Sports. But
It
what?
that's huge. That's huge. Everybody thought Matchroom leaving Sky Sports
Yeah,
was going to be detrimental to their success and them staying alive. But like I said, one promotion company out, there's another promotional company that's right in there, ready to take over, and it's full steam ahead. And this
yeah,
is what Boxer has done. And guys who are watching, check it out on Knuckle Up, man. I've featured tons of these fighters that Boxer has now signed,
yeah.
new and old. They've got tons of people on their roster, and honestly, they are taking over and they're doing well. And Sky Sports, you know what? I thought they were going to be tits up. I thought it was going to suck, but you know what? They had plans in the works, man. And you know what? Matchroom leaving them hasn't done them any hurt at all.
Yep, yep. All good stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Mike, does that wrap us up?
yeah, that about wraps us up for the Friday night panel. To all the fans that have tuned in, thank you again for the love and support. We're always here Friday night, man. Let you know what's going on the weekend, and let you know all the headlines around the world in boxing. Thanks for tuning in. It's your man Mike from Knuckle Up and Four with Mike Orr and Graham Boyce, your host for the Friday night panel, man. We'll see you next week, same time, same channel, different topics.
Stay tuned for Neil the Deal, eh?
Yeah, stay tuned for Neil the Deal, and don't forget our Knockout of the Week award Sunday. And we'll be doing watching live, talking
Watching live.
fight, but we don't know exactly where from yet.
That's right.
It could be Canada, it could be the States. We
Yeah,
don't
your
know.
boy Devin Haven. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you'll have to tune in and find out, guys.
Yeah,
In the meantime, go to Talk and Fight, hit up that subscribe, set up those reminders. We bring it to you daily. Uh, Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Mike Orr from Knuckle Up and Forward with Mike Orr and Graham. It's a Friday night panel. We'll see you next week, same time, same channel.
good stuff.
Yeah, man.